Hello friends, welcome. Today we would be discussing a very important concept, the concept of relative speed. So before we get started, let's revise two important concepts. The first one is this formula itself, speed is distance by time, and the second important thing is the ratios, right? If you remember from our last classes, if distance is constant, then speed and time are inversely proportional to each other, which means that if one of them gets reduced, the other would increase and vice versa. The second thing is distance is directly proportional to speed if time is constant. So for example, if speed increases, distance would increase and vice versa. So with that information, which these two basic concepts, let's now start looking at what relative speed is. So this is how relative speed fits in our overall scheme of classes. We are here, and in subsequent class we would discuss a special case of relative speed dealing with boats and streams. So relative speed, simply put, is the change in relative distance. Now what is relative distance? Now consider these two objects which are moving towards each other. They may be cars, they may be trains, boats, whatever you want. Okay, so these two objects A and B are moving towards each other. The distance between these two objects, these two moving objects, is the relative distance. Now let's say that this object A moves at the rate of 2 km per hour and this object B moves at the rate of 3 km per hour. The distance between these two objects, or relative distance, would change by how much? 3 km would be covered by this guy per hour and 2 km would be covered by A per hour. Therefore, the total change in this relative distance per hour is 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5 km per hour. Or in other words, this is their relative speed, rate of change of relative distance per unit time, and that's the relative speed. So if two objects are moving in same direction towards each other in opposite direction, then the relative speed is the sum of their individual speeds. That's one thing, right, related to relative speed. That's one thing. The second concept is what happens if two objects are moving in same direction. Let's again take two cars. Let's again take an example of our two cars. Now these cars are special, they don't really have wheels, they can fly. So we have these two cars A and B. Again, one of them is moving at the rate of 3 km per hour and this one is moving at the rate of 2 km per hour, but this time they are going in the same direction. So let's see what happens in 1 hour. We'll often use these things, these are known as scenarios. So we'll often see what would happen in a given question in, let's say, 1 hour, or at a given time, after certain time, what happens. So let's say in 1 hour, what would happen? Our car A would move by 2 km, our car B would move by 3 km. So what's the relative distance after 1 hour? The relative distance between these two cars after 1 hour is only 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1 km. Or the rate of change of relative distance or relative speed is 1 km per hour. Therefore, when the two objects are going in same direction, the relative speed is the difference between their individual speeds. In this case, 3 minus 2 is 1. So these are the two things which you have to remember for relative speeds. Cars traveling in opposite direction, relative speed is the addition of individual speeds. Now these guys, of course, they didn't do their relative speed homework and that's why they crashed. This wouldn't happen to us. So if two cars, now these two are moving in the same direction. So notice how the distance between these two changes very slowly. Right? Although the two cars, they are individually going very fast, but the difference, the relative distance between these two is changing very slowly because it is related, it is equal to the relative speed. This distance changes as a function of their relative speed, the difference between their individual speeds. Now moving on, let's take our first example. This is a very simple example. It is just taken here. We just are taking this to illustrate the basic concept of relative speed. So there is a train A which leaves from Delhi to Ahmedabad, and this train leaves at 2:30. Right, at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour. There is a second train B which leaves 2 hours afterwards at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Now we are being asked at what distance from Delhi would this train, the train B, catch up with train A, and that's the question. Right, so let's see what the scenario is. Right, I told you in the beginning we'll often be drawing scenarios in these questions. Right, let's see what the scenario is after 2 hours. So between this time and this time, in the 2 hours, train A would have moved 60 into 2, which is equal to 120 kilometers. It is moving at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. So in 2 hours it would reach somewhere here. Right, so this is the situation after 2 hours. Our train A is moving at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Our train B has just started. This is already, it has already covered 120 kilometers. Our train B has just started with a greater speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Now of course, every hour this train is covering 80 kilometers, but this train A is also moving ahead by 60 kilometers. So every hour this train B is able to cover 80 minus 60, which is equal to 20 kilometers of the relative distance between these two trains. Right? So relative distance between these two trains when they started is 120 kilometers. Of this 120 kilometers, this train every hour covers 20 kilometers. Right? So 20, 20, 20, it would cover this entire 120 kilometers in how much? Time is equal to distance by speed. So this is 20 kilometers per hour, or in 6 hours. In 6 hours, our train B would be able to reduce this distance, the relative distance of 120 kilometers to 0, and hence the trains would meet. So somewhere here, after 6 hours, our two trains would meet. And of course, this train has travelled for 6 hours. How much distance would it travel in 6 hours? It would travel a distance of speed 80 into time 6, which is equal to 480 kilometers, and that's the answer. Very simple question. Two things to note here. First, two objects are moving simultaneously. Most likely it is a question of relative speed. That is how you would identify relative speed question. Second, draw a proper diagram. Translate this question into diagram. Right? In subsequent question, notice how I translate the problem into a diagram. Once you have this diagram, the maths is relatively trivial in all these questions. Right? So definitely we should attempt this question and we should draw a good diagram to solve these questions. Moving on, this is the second question. Here the two trains are travelling in opposite directions. So here we have two stations, Meerut and Delhi. So there is a train M which leaves Meerut at 5 am. So this train left at 5 am and reaches Delhi at 9 am. That much we are given. Another train N leaves Delhi at 7 am. I told you it was in opposite direction. So Delhi it left at 7 am and reaches Meerut at 10:30. At what time, the question is asking us, at what time would the two trains cross each other? That is what we are being asked. So we will find out the scenario at 7 am. Let's see what happens at 7 am. 5 to 9 is 4 hours. So from 5 to 9 this train goes from Meerut to Delhi. So at 7 am this train would be, that is after 2 hours, this train would be midway. So if this total distance is x, these two distances are x by 2 and x by 2. So this is the scenario at 7 am. Right? So this is the scenario at 7 am. Our train from Meerut has reached here. Now let's say that the speed of this train M is S1 and the speed of this train N is S2. So can we write down what the speeds would be? S1 is equal to distance, this distance x over time. How much time does our S1 take to cover the distance x? 4 hours, 5 to 9, 4 hours. So this is the speed S1. S2 is similarly x by 3.5, 3.5 hours it is taking, which is nothing but 2x by 7. So these are the two speeds expressed in terms of distance. Now let's try to find out the time t at which these two trains, time t after 7 o'clock, that these two trains would intersect. Let's try to find that out. So at 7 o'clock, our train, this M has reached here and it's going at the speed of S1. Our train, this N, is starting with the speed of S2 and they are going in opposite direction. So this relative distance of x by 2 is being covered at what relative speed? They are going in opposite direction. So relative speed is sum of their individual speeds. Correct. Right? And this is the relative distance x by 2. So time t is nothing but x by 2 distance over the speed S1 and S2. We already know S1 and S2 in terms of x. So let's substitute that. T comes out to be x by 2 divided by x by 4 plus 2x by 7. X and x cancel out. This comes out to be 14 by 15 hours. So the two trains would intersect 14 by 15 hours after 7 o'clock, and that's the answer. Again, notice how the diagram came to our rescue. So draw your diagrams. Notice how I am translating the problem to correct diagram, and I am doing it very slowly, deliberately, right? Just to get it across. So let's move on. Now, these two friends, they are two friends, Tim and Jim. Tim is on bike and Jim is on bicycle. He is on a cycle. But even then, they decided that we are going to race. I mean, of course, a cycle has no way of catching up with bike. But kids nowadays, I mean, you never know what they'll do. So these two friends, they started to race from point A. After a while, right, so Tim was on a bike, so bike, and then Jim was on a cycle. Let's say that the speed of cycle was x, the speed of bike becomes 5x, the ratio is 1:5. Now after a while, the person on the bike, he realizes that, oh man, there is now no way of him catching up with me. There is no way. I left him like far behind. I mean, this whole idea was nuts. So let's not do this anymore. So he parks his bike here somewhere, right? He parks his bike here somewhere, and then he starts walking. And when he is doing this walking, his speed dropped by 80%, which means that his speed became 20% of his original speed. So his original speed was 5x. So his speed became just x. Right? If you solve this comes out to be x. So now he starts walking at the rate of x back towards point A. This is what we know. When this thing is happening, when he is walking back, in that time, when he starts walking back, in that time, Jim had travelled 15 by 2. We don't know what time it is, but when he reached here and he starts walking back, Jim had travelled 15 by 2 kilometers. Since the distance is in kilometer and the times are in hours, our speed, this x, would be in kilometers per hour. That's one thing to realize here. Okay, so this is 15 by 2 kilometers. So let's try to solve this question by using some trick. So this distance, let it be d. This entire distance is d, let's say. Then this entire distance d is covered by b at the speed of 5x. Our friend on cycle is only able to cover how much distance? D by 5, because his speed is 1/5. Therefore, by the time the friend on bike gets to this point, which is d away, our friend on cycle would only be able to cover d by 5. His speed is 1/5. Therefore, this is d by 5. And we know this d by 5 is 15 by 2. Therefore, the entire distance comes out to be 75 by 2 kilometers. So that's one thing to note. Second thing is, because this is d by 5, this entire distance is d, therefore this distance is 4d by 5. Correct? This entire distance is 4d by 5. At the time when B starts walking back, this person on bike, he starts walking back from B, he is walking with the speed x. This person on a cycle is also going towards B at the speed of x. Therefore, what is their relative speed? Their relative speed is, they are going in opposite direction, so relative speed would be x plus x, which is equal to 2x. So this distance of 4d by 5 is being covered at the rate of 2x, right? And we know that they meet after 4 hours. So the meeting happens after 4 hours, that we know. So time would be equal to distance 4d by 5. This is the relative distance between these two, and speed is 2x. This is the relative speed between these two, and this time is 4 hours. We already know d, so we can substitute d from here. 4 into 75 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Sorry, this is 4d by 5, right? So correct, right? So there is a 5, I am missing 5 here, so this would become 4 by 5. If you solve this, this is 2x. So this is 4 by 5 into 75 by 2, 4 by 5 is here. D is 75 by 2 divided by 2x is equal to 4. If you solve this, your x would come out to be 15/4 kilometer per hour, and that's the speed of the cycle. So again, notice how this diagram really helped us. I mean, the maths was very, very simple. I mean, this was the most complicated formula, nothing. So now moving on, there are again two friends, A and B. This question is very, very good question. It is slightly tricky, but of course, if you get it, you get two questions, and it can be solved very simply by using the concept of relative speed. So there are two friends, Ram and Shyam, who ran a race between points A and B, which are 5 kilometers apart. So we are being told everything. There is full disclosure in this question. Nothing is hidden. There is 5 kilometers. Ram starts at 9 and goes at the speed of 5 kilometers per hour. This is what we are being told. Shyam, on the other hand, he starts at 9:45 and he goes at the speed of 10 kilometers per hour. All of this we are being told. We are being told everything actually. Right. Now what happens when both of them they reach B, instead of stopping there, they also start coming back. And we are being asked, at what point do Ram and Shyam cross each other? So of course, Ram would go there, he would come back, Shyam is starting late, he would still be going towards B, Ram would go there and coming back, and while coming back and Shyam going this way, they would cross each other somewhere, and that is what the first thing question is asking us. So let's try to find out again, let's draw another scenario here, right? Let's try to find out some scenarios here. So this Ram would get to point B in how much time? 5 kilometers per hour, distance of 5 kilometers he would cover in 1 hour. So at 10 a.m. he would reach opposite side. Shyam, he travels at 10 kilometers per hour, so 5 kilometers he would cover in just 30 minutes. So he would reach other end at 10:15. This much we can know. Now, what is happening when Ram reaches here? Let's see where Shyam is. So between 9:45 and 10:15, Shyam would be at 10 o'clock, exactly between 5 kilometers. So he would have covered this 2.5 kilometer, and 2.5 kilometer would be left to go. So this 2.5 kilometer would be left, and this 2.5 kilometer, right? Notice what happens at 10 o'clock. So this is a scenario at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, Shyam is going in this direction at the speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Ram is coming back at the speed of 5 kilometers per hour. Therefore, the relative speed becomes 15 kilometers per hour. The total distance they have to cover is 2.5 kilometers. So when would they actually cross? They would cross at the time t, which is time is equal to distance over speed, which is 2.5 over 15. If you solve it, it will come out to be 10 minutes. So 10 minutes after, so this was the scenario at 10 o'clock. So 10 minutes after 10 o'clock, they would cross each other. And that's the answer to the first question. Now the second question, we are being asked at what time would Shyam overtake Ram. So that's this first part we have solved. In the second part, we are being asked at what time Shyam would overtake Ram. So let's try to understand what happens at 10:15, right, to find the answer to second problem. So at 10:15, Shyam would be somewhere here. Shyam would have reached B. Now Ram would have of course covered certain distance because he already reached B at 10 o'clock. In the 15 minutes he was going at the rate of 5 km per hour in this direction. He would have reached somewhere, of course, right? So where would he be in 15 after 15 minutes at 10:15? He would be between 10 and 10:15. There are 15 minutes, which is 1/4 hour. So he would have covered distance is equal to speed, which is our speed is 5 km per hour in this direction, into time, which is 1/4 or 5/4 kilometers. So Ram would have covered a distance of 5/4 kilometers, and he would be traveling in this direction at the speed of 5 km per hour. And this is the scenario at 10:15. Okay, this is scenario at 10:15. At 10:15, Shyam just starts moving in this direction at the speed of 10 km per hour. So what's the relative speed now? It is 10 minus 5, which is equal to 5 km per hour. And what's the distance that they have to cover? 5/4 km. Time is equal to distance over speed, which comes out to be 1/4 hour or 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes after 10:15 or at 10:30, Shyam would catch up or overtake Ram. And the trick here is to really understand overtaking. The term overtake means that they are going in the same direction and Shyam comes from behind, catches up with Ram and goes ahead, and that's the second answer. The 10:30 is the answer to the second part of the problem. Again, notice the amount of maths, nothing, right? You shouldn't miss this type of questions. You only need to draw this diagram correctly. You understand the scenarios, right? Take key moments in time, 10 o'clock, 10:15, and understand the position of various participants, and you will get the diagram right. And once you do that, rest of the question is trivial, very simple. Again, same thing. This question we are given 3 people. There are 3 people. There are 3 racers. Let's say Arun, Barun, and Kiranmala. So Arun, Barun, and Kiranmala. Their speeds are 30, 40, and 60 kilometers per hour. Now they are also going from point A. They started and they are running forward. Barun starts 2 hours after Arun. So in 2 hours, Arun would have covered how much? He is going at the rate of 30 km per hour. So in 2 hours, he would have covered 60 kilometers. So Barun starts after 2 hours, and we are being asked, right? So when would he catch up? When would Barun catch up with Arun? The relative speed is they are going in same direction. So relative speed is the difference between their individual speeds, 40 minus 30, which is 10 kilometers. So every hour Barun catches up 10 kilometer of this 60 kilometers, right? So the total distance he would catch up in 6 hours, correct? Therefore, this catching up, this intersection would happen after 6 4s are 240 kilometers. So after 240 kilometers, Arun and Barun would be at the same point. Now we are being asked how long should Kiranmala wait here and then start so that she catches up with Arun and Barun at the same moment, that is she is at 240 kilometers away from A at the same time. That is what the question means. So these 240 kilometers Kiranmala can cover in time is equal to distance by speed. So she can cover it in only 4 hours. 240 divided by 60, which is only 4 hours. Of course, he has taken a total of 6 plus he got a 2-hour lead, right? So this is, he traveled for 6 hours, Varun traveled for 6 hours and waited for 2 hours. Therefore, and Arun traveled a total of 8 hours to reach there, right? 8 is a 24, 240. So he traveled for entire 8 hours, and Kiranmala can cover this distance in only 4 hours. So she has to wait 8 minus 4, which is equal to 4 hours, so that she is at 240 kilometer mark at exactly the same instant, and that's the answer to the question. Now moving on, there is a train X. Again, there are 2 trains involved. This question is actually not that tricky, because you might think that it's not that tricky because the trains depart from the station. One of the trains X, it departs from the station at 11 a.m. and it goes towards station B. The other train starts from station B also at 11 a.m. So they are starting at the same time. So that's not the source of complication. So train X is traveling at an average speed of 70 km per hour. Our train which starts from B, which is train Y, is traveling at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour. It's right here. Now we are being asked that at what distance after A would they intersect with each other. Of course, there is one additional complication in this problem, and the complication is that this train which starts from B stops at station C for a little while, for 15 minutes, and this station C is 60 kilometers from B. The first thing that you should find out is whether this intersection would happen before train B has stopped at station C or after train B has stopped at station C. So let's see that by the time our train Y, which starts from station B, covers this 60 kilometers, whereas how much distance train X has covered. So train Y, speed is 50, distance is 60, time is equal to distance over speed. So train Y would cover this 60 kilometers in 60 by 50 hours, and in that time our train X would have moved, its speed is 70 kilometers per hour, therefore it would have moved this much distance. This comes out to be 84 kilometers. So when our train Y reaches C, train X has moved 84 kilometers. The total distance they have covered is 84 plus 60, which is 144, which is way less than this distance of 180 kilometers. So they couldn't have intersected by then. We know that much. Okay, so that is out of the way. Now let's try to find out, to solve this problem, understand that this entire distance is being covered by both the trains together. They are traveling in opposite direction. They are traveling with the relative, so the relative speed is the sum of their individual speeds. So this entire distance is being traveled with, is being reduced by the sum of their individual speeds, which is 70 plus 50, which is 120 kilometers per hour, except 15 minutes for which train Y was not moving at all, and all the work was being done by train X. So this distance of 180 kilometers is being covered at 120 kilometers per hour, except for 15 minutes. So let's try to find out in those 15 minutes how much distance would train X cover. So train X would cover, 15 minutes is 1 by 4 hour into 70, which is equal to 70 by 4 kilometers. Okay, let's subtract this 70 by 4 kilometers from 180. So 180 minus 70 by 4, this comes out to be 325 by 2 kilometers. So this 325 by 2 kilometers is the distance which these two trains are traversing together at their relative speed. So how much time would it take for them to intersect? To make this distance 0, it would take them time is equal to distance 325 by 2 divided by speed, which is 120. So this time comes out to be 65 by 48 hours. So ignoring those 15 minutes when this train was stopped, it would take them 65 by 48 hours to intersect. This is the relative speed, note that. Now, of course, our train X, sorry I dropped this, train X, of course this train X is moving all the while, right? It didn't stop for these 15 minutes, right? So this train X moved for 65 by 48 hours. It was moving, right, all the while this distance was being traversed, this distance, right, when they both were moving. Plus this train X was also moving for 15 more minutes, which is 1 by 4. So this train was moving for 77 by 48 hours. Right? And when at this moment they intersected. So after 77 by 48 hours they intersected. They met with each other. And hence this distance becomes, distance is equal to speed 77 by 48 into time. So this speed is 70 into time 77 by 48, time into speed, distance is that much, and if you calculate this would come out to be 112.29 or approximately 130, 112.3. So that's the answer, right? So the trick here is to subtract this distance when this train was moving alone, right? This distance, when this train was 70, we wrote it somewhere, right? I think we lost it, but this distance when this train was moving alone, we had to subtract that. Subtracting that distance, we got the distance when both the trains had to move together, and with that we were able to compute the time at which they would intersect. We added the time for 15 minutes when this train was stopped but this train was moving, and finally we arrived at the distance that this train would have traveled to reach the intersection point. So this, except for this question, right, this last question was a bit complicated, there was a bit of maths, none of the other questions involved complicated maths. So with that we cover our class on relative speed. In the next class we would discuss a slight complication to this class, right, not trains but boats. With boats and airplanes, the thing to note is, so far in our class we had discussed the relative speed between objects which move, which themselves move. So there are two objects, they are themselves moving, but the surface on which these objects are there, on which these objects are playing, does not change, it does not move. Whereas in case of boats and planes, the surface itself, which means air and stream, itself is moving, and that introduces bit of complication, bit of twist to the problem. Of course, these questions with boats and air, boats and planes are also becoming very common. So don't miss our next class, it is very important. Do subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much and good luck.